Hey guys, I wanted to share with you. I had a dream last night and I look terrible. Please forgive me. I just woke up not too long ago. So I wanted to share with you guys a dream that I had, and I thought it was quite incredible. And I was just like, man, I've got to share it. So in the dream, I was inside a house or indoors. I'm not really sure where I was at. But in the dream, I remember my friend, a dear friend of mine, came and got me. And she was like, hey, you might want to come outside to see this. I was like, okay. And so I grabbed my phone and walk outside and look up in the sky, and there was like this huge, almost like stars, like cluster of lights. And we were sitting there just trying to focus our eye and trying to look. And so I got my phone out to try to focus and zoom in, and it was like this land. And of course it was circular. Now I know the New Jerusalem, and in the Bible it says like 4 walls, you know, the gates, they're 4. So I understand. And it's unbiblical, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But it doesn't mean that this dream was not from the Lord. It's like just as a hope to give us like this glorious hope that, hey, he's coming back soon. As I zoomed in, it was like this beautiful land, lit up, bright. And it wasn't stars though, even though, I mean, I guess it can come off as stars, but like it was just like this bright light, and it had houses and mansions side by side. I mean, just bunches of them side by side by side. And I remember in the dream going, he prepares a place for us. He goes to prepare a place for us. And there were lights everywhere. And when I say that, it was like Christmas lights, but on steroids. But it was like all white, pure lights. It wasn't like reds and blues and greens and all that stuff. Excuse me. It was pure white lights. Now, when I say Christmas, like Christmas lights on steroids, I mean like, do you remember that movie, secular, worldly movie, Christmas Vacation? Chevy Chase. He goes and puts the lights on his house, and they're blinding. They're blinding. Like, I mean, like there was like lights one after the other, like on the house. That's how it was. But it was pure whiteness, like everywhere in this whole entire land. It was so beautiful. And the trees were like pine tree, Christmas trees, pine tree, like those. That was all over the land. And then at one point we saw an angel. Everybody that was out like with their phones, like looking and stuff, that we saw an angel come straight up from this land and like start just flying up and out in the sky everywhere. And I was like, what an honor. Thank you, Lord, for letting us witness this. Right after that, and it was outside of the actual land part. It was another part of the sky beside this going on, was like these images started to unfold, and it looked almost as cartoon images, almost like the Lord was trying to tell us something. I don't know if it was warnings. I don't know. And honestly, I don't remember really what the images were. There was one thing that I remember, and it was words, and it was 4 or 5 words. It created like a sentence. It was like a phrase in the dream, and I knew what it meant. But now, as after I woke up, I don't remember all the words it said, but I remember what I thought it meant in the dream. The only words that I remember, it said something about same song, or singing the same songs, or same song. But in the dream, whatever those words as a whole said, it was like in my dream, I remembered reading that and going, huh. My mind immediately went to like Bethel and Hillsong, things like that they're kind of been under fire for things that are going on inside the church. And honestly, I do still sing like those songs, like the worship songs, you know? And so I'm thinking maybe God was warning me, like, you know, you don't need to be listening to that, you know, like what they stand for. Even though the songs, I mean, they give reverence to Jesus, and when we sing them, it's pure. We're singing to our Holy Father, but maybe God is saying, no, you need to cut that. You need to stop that. So that's that. In the dream, I was like, oh, and I automatically knew, like, okay, that he's talking about Hillsong and Bethel, and you know, those are 2 things that came into my mind. But after I woke up, I do not remember the actual phrase or the words that was said in that in that imagery or wording, however it said. I don't remember. I do remember the words same song or singing the same song, something like that. I don't know. That's all I remember. Oh, and then after, I forgot about this, sorry. After that, I guess I went back inside, and then I saw this guy that was like I didn't know him. In real life, I don't even know who this guy is. I don't know who the gentleman is. But in the dream, it's like I kind of knew who he was. He was like living a worldly life. And so I was like, I'm going to give him some hope. So I brought my phone, and I was going to show him on my phone like the photos that I had taken from what we just witnessed in the sky. And instead of going to my photo gallery, I was actually in like Facebook Messenger or something to my friend, the one that had first notified me, like, hey, you might want to come outside to look at this. She was sending me photos of her upcoming wedding. As far as I know, she's not getting married in her life, but in the dream, she was getting married, and she was showing me photos of like her wedding dress and her wedding shoes and things like that. And so I was like, that's interesting. Of course, in the dream, when I was showing the guy the photos, I was like, wait, this isn't it. Wait, where am I at? What am I doing? So I backed out and I went to my photo gallery and showed him the photos and stuff that I took. We all know what wedding and wedding dress and marriage and what that symbolizes in a dream. And normally that is Jesus is coming for his bride, the marriage supper of the Lamb. We are awaiting that blessed hope of his return, and he's going to come back for his bride. And so I'm excited. That was pretty incredible. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you have any insight, I'm going to leave the comments open. So please reach out. If you have anything negative to say, or if you don't believe in Jesus, keep going, okay? This is not for your entertainment. But if this inspires you and you're like, hey, I want to know more about Jesus, please reach out. Please. We will pray with you. And just know that you are loved. So if you are one who does not know Jesus yet, please know that you are loved, and he absolutely loves and cares for you. He loves and cares for you so much that he gave up his own son to die for you. You have a place at his table. You have a place in his kingdom with your name on it, but you have to accept him. So I pray that this encourages the bride of Christ, the church of Christ, and Jesus is returning very soon. God bless you guys.